All right, here we go. Coming down in three, two, one. Again, Barbara Cox live from Jonas Green Park with the Maryland Natural Resources Police. This time I am sitting with Major.
Jerry Kirkwood.
And what do you do for the Natural Resources Police as a major? And actually, when it comes to what we're talking about today, which is the limitations that are placed on crabs.
I'm one of two field operations bureau chiefs, so I'm in charge of the central region and the western region. So everything from Cecil County to Garrett County. And of course, Cecil, Harford, Baltimore County all have water, all have crabs. So that's what we're here to talk about. So portion of the crabbing takes place under my purview.
And when it comes to crabbing, yes, we have heard that there are limitations. But the first thing that I want to say is there is new regulations in regarding the size of crabs that people can actually keep.
The crabbing regulations actually are not new, but they do change throughout the year. It starts out at 5 inches, and then July 15th, the size limit increases to 5 1/4. It's been that way for several years, but we do try to get the word out because July 15th comes, and goes before you realize it.
So now there are limitations that are being placed, and that's because of the number of crabs that are available. Share with us, if you will, what the penalties will be for someone who actually gets caught going over during this Don't Get Pinched campaign.
The penalties are graduated. I believe they start at $85 and can actually run up into the thousands of dollars. So you might get a ticket for $150 to have one female crab, but if you have bushels and bushels of undersized crabs, you could be talking about hundreds and even thousands of dollars of fines.
And the way that people, the Natural Resources Police Department will do it, you guys basically are policing the waters. So I'm assuming you see commercial fishermen out there, you do a boat check?
Correct. The majority of our crab enforcement is done on the waters, actually boat to boat. So our officers are right out there right now on boats, and they'll pull up alongside of somebody while they're actively engaging in crabbing. We'll also walk down the piers where the recreational crabbing takes place, or there's plenty of recreational crabbing take place on boats. Most of the enforcement is actually done right out there on the waterways and at least on the riverbanks and piers and things like that.
Now, we know about commercial crabbing, but when you say recreational, would that be like for a person like me if I wanted to go out here one day and do some crabbing? Are you talking to me?
I'm talking exactly to you. A recreational crabber is someone that doesn't have a commercial license. There are non-licensed recreational crabbers, and then there are also licensed recreational crabbers. So if you don't have a license, sometimes we call them chicken neckers. They're on a pier. They're probably doing it right here where we are. They have stopped at the grocery store, got a little spool of line. They've got a few chicken necks. They're going out crabbing. They do not need a license. They have to follow the rules, have to follow the catch limits and the size limits. They're allowed 2 dozen per person. Now, if you buy a recreational crabbing license, you're allowed 1 bushel for that license. Always have to, follow the size limit.
So for the recreational crabber, they need to know the rules and the regulations as well. So that means that they can get pinched also?
Exactly. Anybody can get pinched. In today's society, everybody, it's incumbent upon them, if they're going to engage in any kind of activity, to kind of find the rules and regulations. Of course, it's free, and you'll notice we have a barcode on here. You can use a smartphone and scan this QR, and it'll take you right to the regulation page. You can go on the web. You can find it almost anywhere. Where you buy your bait, your tackle, fishing tackle, they have the booklets. So the regulations really are relatively easy to come across. People just have to take the initiative to look into it.
Will the penalty, as in the fine, differ from a commercial crabber to a recreational crabber if they are caught?
That is correct. There's actually a separate set of regulations that deal with recreational and commercial. Of course, commercials are generally a little bit more steep because they are into crabbing for pay. They generally, know the rules, follow the rules, but it is graduated, and it is their own set of regulations, recreational and commercial, their own set of fines.
And when it comes to fines, I know you might not be able to know them specifically. Is there a range that people will be looking at, and does it come based on first violation, second, third, fourth?
That is correct also. In the fine schedule that we follow, and again, we don't set them, they're set from the district court. So the first offense is one thing. Second offense is usually, it goes up exponentially, and sometimes it can even involve jail time for some natural resources cases. I'd really have to check to see if it does particularly for crabbing, but it does go up. A subsequent offender is anything within 2 years you've been found guilty of it, and you're caught again, you're going to get a higher fine.
Again, I know you said that there's a barcode on the bottom of this sheet, which, of course, they would like for the recreational fishermen to definitely pay attention to. How would they get this information when it comes to these flyers? Will you have them posted different places?
Exactly. Today was the kickoff. I have this stack and a big stack at the office. We plan on sending those out to all the state parks. There'll be some here at Jonas Green. Any place that there is somebody liable to be crabbing, we are going to try to post this. Licensed dealers, tackle shops, anywhere that folks would be in and out, that have to do with fishing and crabbing.
Well, now you have been told, so the thing is, don't get pinched. And if by chance you missed any portion of any of these segments, it is available on demand at 1430wnav.com. Thank you for joining us. Join us again next week at this same time for another edition of Talk With on your hometown station. For another edition of the 1430 Connection on your hometown station, 1430 WNAV. Thank you.